Rainier Prep. Rainier Prep seeks to be a small public middle school serving the greater Highline area. It's really special for me to be here tonight with so many longtime friends, supporters, and advocates of public education. Thank you for taking the time to invest in our children and in our vision for what's possible. Also, a big thank you to the Technology Access Foundation for hosting us in this great community building. I personally have been in education for more than 20 years. I started out as a paraeducator or teaching assistant serving special education students. And for the past 15 years, I've worked in the South King County Public Schools as a teacher, a coach, and a principal, because I believe every child deserves a great public education. We're in a historic moment in Washington State where we have the opportunity to create great new public options. We at Rainier Prep have applied because the stories of students who become the first in their family to graduate from college are rare. Tonight, I want to talk to you about one of my former students who's here tonight. We want her story to become the rule, not the miraculous exception. My perspective changed drastically during my first few years of teaching at Foster High School in Tukwila. I met students like Ube, who came to the United States from Somalia, fleeing war. I was a first-year teacher when I met her, and she was a brilliant, creative writer. She inspired me because of her resilience in the face of what I saw as incredible obstacles. She learned the unwritten rules of the U.S. school system. She got great grades and showed an amazing desire to learn. She had great initiative. She sought out mentors and advisors like those we will systematically use at Rainier Prep. She was accepted to and graduated from Washington State University. With a friend, she started her own nonprofit that provides culturally responsive youth programs for small children. She overcame so much to get her education, and now she's given back so others have the same chance. But I think of so many other students from that first class of students who I taught, and the ways which who did not go on to higher education, and the ways that it limited their life choices. At Rainier Prep, we want to show you what's possible when public schools are doing their best work. The Rainier Prep team has researched and worked diligently to create a plan that will make these stories the rule and not the exception. It's really a paradigm shift. We believe that this would be a public school open to all students, where all staff, students, and families believe that college is attainable for all. For the past 8 years, I've been working as an elementary school principal, and I see that eagerness with which our kindergartners arrive on the first day of school, so full of questions, so eager, their families so hopeful about their future. The sobering reality is that in South King County, many of those eager kindergartners will not make it to their high school graduation. The problem is particularly pernicious for students of color and low-income students. Picture for a minute 100 kindergartners who are Black or Latino. Of those, only 60 students will exit our South King County Public Schools with a high school diploma. Only 8 of them statistically will graduate from college. At Rainier Prep, we want to be part of changing those numbers. Our strategy is to be a small, rigorous college prep middle school that invests deeply in the hearts and minds of our students. We seek to ensure a college readiness track and a college readiness mentality for each of our students. Because we're small, we'll know your child well. After a student enrolls at Rainier Prep, we'll meet with that student and their family to talk about strengths and weaknesses and set goals for each individual student. Each child will meet daily with their advisor, a staff member who helps them set and achieve goals and provides support. The advisor will be a key link to the family to establish that two-way communication. We will also have a council of parents and community leaders that advise our leadership team. If our school is approved over the next 18 months, we will work closely with families and community to make sure our school is open, engaging, and culturally responsive. You might be wondering, why middle school? We all know that middle school can be a very fragile time for students, and the data agrees. It's a period where so much is determined in terms of future educational attainment. Students are cognitively ready for great challenge, but we've got the whole frontal lobe thing and the choices. And middle school is a time where students really take different paths and they make significant choices. But many of the students and their families don't realize the impact that those choices will have on their future. In addition, we understand that simply providing a college prep curriculum will not make all students successful. When you challenge students, many students will rise to the occasion, but other students will require significant supports to get there. We are prepared to be a full-service school with the holistic and systematic supports needed to ensure that all students are capable of reaching those high expectations. This includes a comprehensive program with services for students who need ELL services or special ed services, as well as our emerging partnerships designed to address the mental and physical health of our students and their families. Some have asked me, well, Maggie, what's really different about Rainier Prep? One thing that's different is that our academic day will be divided into two parts. We'll have the foundational skills that we think of as reading, writing, and math, and we'll have an interdisciplinary course called Inquiry. Our belief is that you have to build the foundational skills so students can access the content while you're simultaneously building those critical thinking and collaboration skills that are so needed in the workplace and in life. Each day our students will have an inquiry class where they do projects that we call challenges in topics often reserved for higher education. Topics like genetics, epidemiology, robotics, or environmental science. Students will get to work on projects individually and in groups where they might do things like explore DNA, build a bridge, create a movie about the spread of a disease, or program a robot. Through these experiences, students will gain content knowledge, critical thinking skills, and collaboration skills which will serve them for the rest of their lives. I was reminded the other day of another unique element of our school as I was driving to a meeting in the middle of the day, something that if you're an educator is a really weird thing. I looked at the clock and it was 2:22, and I saw a sea of 16 and 17-year-olds walking home from school, and I thought to myself, what was the logic of a school system that dismisses teenagers several hours before most of the adults get home? So we are planning a later start and an extended school day. That's 8:30 to 5, a schedule much more in line with many of our modern families. It will also give us the additional instructional time to reach the academic goals that we've set. In just a few short months, we've assembled a strong team, including our founding board. On our founding board here tonight, we have Ed Taylor, currently the Vice Provost of Undergraduate Affairs at the University of Washington. He understands what it takes to be successful at the university level, and he's an active leader on issues of equity and social justice. We have Joan Hisao, who has a diverse background of skills from finance to world affairs to teaching elementary school. She's a community volunteer, a teacher, a parent, and an advocate for public education. And do we have Max? Max, yes. Okay, and we have Max, who's currently at the University of Washington Center for Educational Leadership. He has a deep appreciation for the Highline community, where he served as a principal and a district leader, and he has a clear commitment to social justice and serving the whole child. If you came tonight to support Rainier Prep, please raise your hand. I want to share a quote from Nelson Mandela's A Long Walk to Freedom, because public charter schools are fundamentally about freedom. They provide families the freedom to choose the school that's right for them. They provide teachers the freedom to innovate, to meet the needs of the students in front of them. Mandela wrote, "As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. It's time to let go of our fear and work together to create great new choices for our children.
Very nice.